when people say they're experts and they definitely know this or that, I'm always a little skeptical, because there's very little in life that you can be 100% sure about.
And it's one of the most wonderful things about life. It is the journey of learning things. And I think if people really did know the truth, I don't think you'd feel like carrying on a lot of the time.
Matt, great to see you again, and it's your turn to put me in the hot seat. So I think I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know.
It's a simple question, and it is: who, in your opinion, has been the greatest tennis player of all time up to this point?
I think if you look at like the music industry, there are all-time greats, and usually for different reasons. I mean, stats-wise, you cannot argue Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
You know, most Grand Slams, most sweets at number one, won every single thing there is to win, including a gold medal at the Olympics now, more 1000s. So he's broken every single stat. In pure terms of who's the best, is an obvious number one. But I think certain players have influenced the sport and have given the public something different. You know, I'll go through maybe the females first. You had, you know, I'm not going to go further back than like Billie Jean King, because it's so long ago. I can't speak, having not experienced living, you know, some of, you know, the previous ones. But, you know, Billie Jean King, what she did as a tennis player herself, but then transcended the sport in actually starting the WTA, which is the women's professional tennis circuit, and what she's done for women's rights. And tennis is the biggest female sport on the planet. And she has, in terms of professional, the ability to make a living as a professional, there's more money in tennis than any other. Some of the other sports are starting to catch up now, but for a long time, she was highly influential, not the greatest tennis player that ever lived, but maybe achieved more in the sport than anybody else. I think Steffi Graf, who again, you know, 23 Grand Slams and you know, was so graceful on the court, and you know, what her and Andre Agassi have done post their careers, and Agassi's school in Vegas, and where they've had 100%. I mean, you know, he's taken deprived kids and has had a 100% graduation rate, getting them into college, which is, and this is over many years now. And so as a couple, they've done some amazing things. And she was, you know, she's in the argument for one of the greatest of all time. Martina Navratilova, who I think took up Billie Jean's mantle and was incredible, had incredible longevity, and is, again, arguably the greatest women's player of all time, and with stats as well. And then I think you can't argue Serena Williams in the really modern day, iconic in the sport. On the men's side, I think Boris Becker, but just before him, actually, McEnroe. He was McEnroe. Very, very different, very Marmite. And Ilie Nastase kind of set that pathway as well. So these are people that were very big personalities in the sport, that kind of transcended the sport because of their personalities. And then Boris Becker winning Wimbledon at 17 is just, I mean,
I forgot that happened. That is incredible.
I mean, I beat a friend of mine, Kevin Curran from South Africa, in the final. And Kevin said to me, he said, "Wow, I never realized the difference between winning Wimbledon and finishing runner-up. Nobody remembers the runner-up," which is kind of very true. And then I think Sampras was, again, very graceful and incredibly, you know, powerful player. Agassi, again, when he came on the scene, was very brash. And and then he kind of had two careers and became a statesman, his second career. And of course, Roger Federer was like a ballerina on the court. So aesthetically, arguably the greatest player of all time. But in pure stats, I think you really can't go past Martina Navratilova and Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the most wonderful things about life. It is the journey of learning things, and you know, and we can just be inquisitive and curious and wonder. But then that is part of what keeps us going.
That's very true. And with that, I think we'll bring it to close. But thank you for a very, very refreshing interview and giving me a lot of food for thought, and I hope for everybody out there a lot of food for thought. And good luck with your album in October. Shoot me a message when it's out, and I will do. Put it out there for you as well.
Thank you, David.
And just, it's been an absolute
pleasure.
pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. I really mean it. Thank you.